Well, Sean Lennon, make sure to check out Pro Wrestling Enforcer podcast. We are on YouTube, on the Fight League Report YouTube channel, as well as on Instagram and Twitter. And we got a special guest here on our show today, Crash Jaxson. A whole lot of dude is coming to us from Ohio. Ohio independent wrestler to the Pro Wrestling Enforcer podcast. Make sure to check out this Sunday. He takes on Big Damo at Black Label Pros Fancy Wrestling, May 1st in Crown Point, Indiana on IWTV Live. And has been performing for Wrestling Revolver, IWA Mid South, Flophouse Wrestling, Beyond, and more. And we appreciate you being on the show.
Oh, man. Thank you so much for having me. I always love getting to do interviews and stuff like that so people can kind of get more of an insight to who I am as not just a wrestler, but also as a person as well.
Definitely. That's always important as well. What I want to ask you is start off with is your journey in professional wrestling. How has it changed your life for the better?
Man, it's taken me to a lot of places I never thought I would ever like get to go, or places I never thought I would want to go. For one thing, it's also like led me to like meet some of like the best people that I've ever met in my life. A lot of them are really close friends, brothers, sisters, essentially. And I'm not, that's not a play on like the whole brother thing of wrestling. Like genuinely, I truly feel like some of these people that I've met are actual, like the blood would only make it, like wouldn't even make it any more closer than how we are. So wrestling has like definitely changed my life because I originally wanted to be, before wrestling, I wanted to be a professional football player, and that didn't work out. And I loved wrestling before I found football. So it's definitely flipped my life upside down because I've sacrificed a lot and just for the sake of wrestling and chasing my dream to try to, make this a full-time career. So I've enjoyed this ride so far over these near 9 years that I've been going at it.
Great. And, Sami Callihan is one of the best minds in wrestling today. So how has he contributed to your success?
Man, he's helped me out like an immense amount. Like it's really hard to like put it into words, honestly. I actually just got back from a training session. Me, him, and Damian Chambers went down to Cody Hawk's school down in Hamilton, Ohio to roll around in the ring and try to help with his rehab on his leg, stuff like that. So like slowly but surely he's getting himself back ready so he can start being the death machine that we all know and love. But as I don't, some people may know it if they've listened to other like interviews and stuff that I've done before, but Sammy wasn't my original trainer. So like I started at a small independent company down in Eastern Kentucky that was about 15 or 20 minutes away from where I grew up. And that's where I initially started. And I learned some of the basics, but it wasn't like the best, like all around training because it wasn't necessarily just a school. I only got to train like one time a month before like a wrestling show after we got everything set up. And I got about 6 training sessions in before I had my first match. So luckily, like the physical aspect of wrestling, I picked up on it pretty easily. That definitely helped with all my years of like playing sports and stuff like that. It was the psychological and like mental part of wrestling that's taken me the longest to get like a grasp on it. But whenever I moved up here to Ohio to pursue wrestling, like even more like 100% like full go, Sammy was kind of like took me under his wing and has like been helping me with advice, promo ideas, merchandise ideas, ideas for things to do in the ring, and just small little details that has really like made huge impacts, not to like no pun intended, but like have made a huge impact on my wrestling career. It's like every bit of advice that he has given me, it has like paid out tenfold easily, if not more than that. Because everything that he's done is just I almost I got top 3 in this year's Gut Checked with Impact. So, and he gave me some advice going into the day, and I followed it to a T, and it almost got me a contract. So, his advice is definitely something. If any other wrestlers that end up watching or listening to this, if you ever get advice from someone at that level, definitely like really take it into consideration. Like, it will help. It will do nothing but help you, honestly. So he has definitely influenced and helped my career. Like I said, 100-fold, probably, honestly.
That's awesome. And end of May, you have Revolver going to Las Vegas for the Vegas vacation. Is that something you plan on enjoying?
I might be out there. You know, it's Memorial Day weekend, and flights are super expensive at the moment. And even like 3 or 4 weeks ago, whenever I checked them, they were still expensive. So they're only going to get more expensive the longer I wait to get a plane ticket. So it's just one of those things. If I can afford to get out there, that's the biggest thing, and that's any other wrestler could tell you that's a huge thing. Like if you have the money to be able to like put gas in your car or buy a plane ticket to go do that. But I'm waiting for some stuff to get lined up, and then I might be able to potentially purchase my plane ticket or maybe next week or something like that. But we will see. If not, it's not like detrimental or anything, because it's a kind of like a spot show sort of thing. So it's not going to be like, it'll be like a regular Revolver show, but it's not going to be it's going to be different. I don't know how to explain it. It's just going to be different. Like it's still going to be your normal, like awesome, like matches, dream matches that you didn't know you wanted to see sort of stuff, but it'll definitely be different, but like in a good way as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's exciting. Do you like to have intergender matches? You know, we saw Swerve and Athena, of course, at Revolver. Swerve's house. Seeing that, does that make you feel like, you know, you could step in the ring with the right woman? I know you've had shared the ring with Kimberly before, but that was more like a scramble match.
I have I've shared the ring with other like women's wrestlers before in like different capacities. If I'm not mistaken, I've never actually had like a one-on-one match, but like I'm not opposed to it, because as we have learning more and more, and they're showing us like the girls are just as good as the guys. So like I don't see it as oh, I'm wrestling a woman's wrestler, I'm wrestling another wrestler. So you know, if someone wants to book one or something like that, I'm down for it. You know, I take on all comers.
Definitely. Yeah, your fists are gender neutral.
Exactly.
And now, you know, Trey Miguel, man, you know, he won that Revolver REmix Championship. It was unfortunate his grandmother had passed, I believe, that weekend. Yeah, so how happy were you to see that happen?
It's definitely something, one of those moments that, like, because we all use wrestling as an escape of some sort. And when you have like a moment like that, it's just like it's a breath of fresh air. So that way whatever stuff is going on in your life outside of wrestling, you can actually like be in that moment and only be thinking about what's going on right in front of you or what's happening to you in the ring at that moment. Because whatever issues you have, girlfriend, mom, dad, kids, if you have any, my rent's due, like while you're in the ring, none of that stuff matters. So like whenever it's happening, it's just like a nice relief moment all at the same time. Like it's really like what's the word I'm looking for? Surreal, I guess.
That was a moment, and definitely a moment that that will last for a while. And would you like to challenge Trey in the future for that remix championship?
Of course.
Yeah,
Of course. I've known Trey for like a while now, for a few years, and we've never actually like shared the ring other than like training together. Like we've never wrestled each other before, so it's definitely like one of those first time matchup dream matches that I have on my list that I would love to put out there. So we'll see if we can get that worked out at some point.
Yeah, talk about the opportunity to come to Crown Point for Black Label Pro against Giant Damo. I mean, how excited are you for this new promotion? I don't know if you've wrestled in that part of Indiana before. I know you wrestled in Indiana.
I've not wrestled for Black Label Pro yet. So like this is it's a debut and a first time matchup. So I got to definitely bring my A game and show the fans that may not know who I am at Black Label, to show them who a whole lot of dude is, So I'm really excited, especially after like I've watched Damo for a while now, and like I'll enjoy his work. So it's going to be fun to be able to like share the ring with him.
Yeah, and an incredible card too. Well, they said it's one of their most stacked cards ever.
That whole card is stacked.
Yeah,
it is crazy stacked. You have that fatal 4-way match for the heavyweight title.
Yes.
You got Levi Everett, PCO. Who else is in it? I just looked at like the card earlier.
Bishop.
Yeah.
And Kobe Durst.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a fun match to watch.
Yeah.
And then you got Ace Austin defending the X Division title against Devin Monroe.
Yes.
Yeah. So that'll be a fun, interesting matchup to watch and see, because I'm not too familiar with Devin's work, but I have shared the ring with Ace multiple times, and I know what he can do, and he just keeps like elevating his game, and seeing like the evolution of like his in-ring style is it's very exciting to watch. That's gonna be a fun match to watch.
Oh, it is. That's gonna be a great one. Yeah, I can't wait for myself personally. I'll be there. What makes you stand out as a pro wrestler in today's landscape? Because you have a lot of wrestlers. They have similar looks. They have similar moves sets.
Honestly, I feel like I've been told this by a couple of people before. Delirious from Ring of Honor, I went and did a camp down at the it's now the Nightmare Factory, but it used to be the One Fall Power Factory. It was whenever they first opened the school down in like Atlanta, Georgia. It's a Glacier and QT Marshall's school, and they had a big camp, like 2 days, go down there and like learn from some of the best in the business. And after one of my matches, Delirious told me that he's like, I don't know what it is about you, but like there's an aura that you have around you, because like he's really into like the energies and things like that. He's like, you have this aura about you that makes me want to cheer for you. Like I don't know what it is, but like something about you, I just want to see you like overcome your obstacles that are in front of you. And so I feel like I have some sort of like presence about me that really allows me to connect with fans, whether it's there in person or through a camera. I think part of it too is that like I kind of have a somewhat of a look that I don't look too out of this world, but I definitely look like I'm not just like a regular person at the same time, if that makes any sense. So like I'm relatable as well. I feel like people like latch onto things that are relatable for them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and the name too, I think, stands out.
definitely, yeah. that definitely helps for sure.
And so you've been in the ring with many great wrestlers, like, Brian Cage, Acey Romero, Madman Fulton, Willie Mack. Of course, that was at the Impact No Surrender / Revolver event. And who did you enjoy working with out of those group the most in this match?
So out of that, honestly, all of those guys, like, because they're in a position that I want to be in. And so like getting to share the ring and like kind of like see how those guys operate and do things is definitely like something that's beneficial to me, so I can like try to like take this and maybe take it in, try to make it my own and apply it, so that way that I can eventually also be like they're up here, I'm like right here, like that can bring me up right there, so like we all be on the same level. But
Yes.
Definitely I would say Cage, he's definitely one of the like more, how can I put this, like whenever I first got into indie wrestling, there was a handful of guys that I really watched a lot, because whenever I was playing football, I wasn't watching wrestling at all. So I didn't start watching wrestling again until I started to like train and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And there were guys that I would watch like regularly, like on social media or on YouTube or anything that I could find, was Moose, Akira Tozawa, Ricochet, Apollo Crews, or then known as U-Haul Nation, and Brian Cage. Those were the 5 that I watched their matches like the most. So they heavily influenced me like in the beginning, as far as like everything like that. And so getting to share the ring with Brian Cage in that match was kind of like let me check that off the bucket list sort of thing. And then if I'm not mistaken, if my timeline's correct, because dates run together and matches run together sometimes. I was in a scramble match for Revolver that Moose was in, I think a month before that.
Okay.
Or something like that. We were in the same building. It might have been 2 months. But getting to share the ring with Moose and like, it's the same situation. Just like getting to like share the ring with someone that like I was looked up to and was like watching like all of their stuff, like was something that was like a really cool, almost like full circle moment. So it's stuff like that. You can't write that better, like if you put it on a TV show or a movie, honestly.
Yes, definitely. It's great that you get to share that time. You get the opportunity with Sami Callihan. Obviously, he is friends with everyone at Impact, so he can he can bring in a lot of those guys, right?
Yeah, for sure, definitely. And like thinking about it from like where I started in wrestling to like where I am now, it's kind of crazy to me, because whenever I first started wrestling, I was like kind of just treating it like a hobby. Like I didn't know like how far I could go with it or anything like that. I just needed something to do because I wasn't playing football anymore, because I've always been doing something. Whenever I wasn't playing football, I was playing basketball, so like there was some sort of athletic thing that I was doing. Whatever it was, I was going to find it. It just so happens that I made my way back to wrestling, and it's just really like fun, or not fun. It's more it's satisfying and humbling at the same time whenever I think about like where I started to where I'm at now. Even though like I'm not where I want to be yet,
right?
I'm way farther than what I ever thought I would have been whenever I first started. So it's really cool to think about stuff like that at times, to kind of like put things into perspective. Like if you ever think that you're not where you want to be yet, or like you've not done anything, think about like where you were whenever you started. You're either you're where you wanted to be however many years ago or months ago, whatever it is. So like it's a good thing to like kind of pull back and think about stuff like that.
For sure. And, that just kind of goes into my next question about, where you see your career in the next few years. If you want to expand upon that.
Well, honestly, like the end goal, like not end goal, because that means like I'm like done, but like the big thing is like obviously I would love to like be on TV with a contract and stuff like that, to where like wrestling is my only job, where I don't have to have like a regular like day job, anything like that. And honestly, even if it's not just that, even if it's just where I could only where I'm only wrestling, like even if it's just me making money on the indies, to where I can sustain myself and pay my bills and buy cat food and toys for my cats and stuff like that, and not have to worry about like, oh man, am I going to be able to pay rent next month or anything like that, or I can't buy this thing that I really want because I have to pay my phone bill or I have to put gas in the car. Like, so that's like maybe step one, and then step two, and we'll just see however it happens. The universe works its way out eventually. It'll all work itself out. And I truly believe like if you like really bust your ass and like work hard, this stuff will happen for you. And it honestly never goes unnoticed, as far as like people want to say that like, oh, they're being slept on and stuff like that. I've said it before too, but then like realizing it's like no one's sleeping on me, because like that's stupid. That's kind of a dumb thing to say. Just keep your nose to the grindstone and just keep busting ass, and then like eventually you'll get to where you want to be at. You just sometimes people's paths take them long, curvy, windy roads, because obviously that's going to take longer than a straight path. So everyone's path is different, and you can't let someone else's success demean you, like put you down or make you feel bad about all the success that you've had.
Yeah, definitely. And we're looking to see that success continue, because you're kind of breaking in toward the Northwest Indiana, Chicago market. So maybe we'll see you in the Chicago promotion afterwards.
I hope so. I love wrestling out in Chicago. I've been out there. I've wrestled for Warrior a couple times.
Okay.
During their stadium series shows, like whenever all of the COVID restrictions and everything was going on. So whenever they were having the shows out on the football field, I've been out there a couple of times and had some pre-show matches for them.
Okay, nice.
And I will be later this year. I'll be in the Chicago area again for Wrestle League.
Oh, okay.
So I'll be out there in the next few months. So hopefully be out there in the Chicago area more often, because you Chicago fans, y'all are awesome. Y'all are wild.
Thank you. Keep on coming. Yeah, thanks a lot. So you give us an update about the Sami Callihan return from injury. So how do you feel he's going to look when he steps into the ring? You think things are going to be the same for him? Does he have to hold back? I mean,
whenever he finally is able to like have a match, he's going to be better than before. Because I see how hard he works. I know he doesn't like post about it a lot, but like I see it. And he's going to come back better than what he was doing before. Like he's going to be like a little worried about his leg, but eventually he'll get over that, and then he'll be able to be like a new and improved Death Machine, if you can even have that, because like all the crazy and awesome things that he was doing beforehand. So I honestly think it's nothing but up for him, especially after he comes back.
Yeah. And almost you think, well, in the Impact world, he might get the baby face treatment. You never know, right? Guy injured and comes back.
It's honestly, I feel like he will, but it's more like, hey man, we miss seeing you.
Right.
And then he's gonna do something and they're gonna be like, man, why'd you go and ruin that?
Exactly.
No,
And then,
yeah. The fans love to love Sammy, and they also love to hate him. So
yes,
as long as they're reacting to him in some sort of way, that means he's doing his job.
Yeah, it's just amazing what he can do with the saliva and his
Mm-hmm.
the way he can manipulate it and such.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're like puppet masters over here.
Yeah, and so you have that loaded card, and you're representing Revolver for a Black Label Pro. So how do you feel like you and Damo are going to steal the show Sunday? Is that one of your goals, to steal the show?
Always, no matter if I'm at Revolver, Black Label Pro, like my thing is I want to like put on the best match possible and give the fans moments and have them go on the drive home, be like, hey, do you remember that thing that Crash and whoever did in their match? Like, I want them to still be talking about my match even after it's done, not just only talking about it while it's going on.
Definitely. And how does it make you feel when you see a fan wearing your merchandise? This is a chance for you to plug your merchandise.
Oh man, honest, it's like one of the coolest feelings ever, because like we like bust our ass to try to like make money and stuff like that, whether it's from bookings or selling our merchandise and stuff like that. And whenever the fans like spend their hard-earned money, not only to get into the show and do whatever, buy food, drinks, you're also going to spend $20 or something like that to buy one of our t-shirts. Like, it's really cool. Like, every time I make a t-shirt sell, like, I'm like, man, this person actually like really likes me. Like, they're willing to give me their hard-earned money to like wear a t-shirt that has my name on it. Like, it's super cool to like think about. Like, it's hard to like put it into words, honestly. It's just like, it's one of like, people talk about like wrestling has very high like highs and like very low lows. Like, seeing people like wear your shirts like to shows that you're going to be on, like that's one of those like really high highs that people talk about all the time. Like, it's cool, man. It's awesome.
Nice. Yeah, I feel the same way. I have my own shirts for my podcast, but I mean, it's great.
Yeah.
If people want to purchase them, how can they get a hold of them?
So I have a Pro Wrestling Tees store. You can search it up at Crash Jaxson on the Pro Wrestling Tees website. Or I also have a Teespring store of my own where you can get like hoodies, joggers, leggings. I got fanny packs if y'all need a fanny pack. You can get all kinds of stuff. I'm slowly working on stuff to update it, because you can actually have like digital products as well, and do different things like that. That one, it's a weird thing to go directly to it. So if you just type in thecrashjaxson.com, that'll take you to a landing page, and it's going to have all of my social media on it, and it's also going to have right there, you can click on it, it'll take you straight to my Teespring store, so that way you don't have to like type in this like ridiculously long URL. So yeah, that's where, if you don't follow me on any of my social media as well, like that's where you can do it. Or if you're listening to this and you're already on your Twitter or your Instagram, just go in that search bar and type in @TheCrashJaxson, and hit me up with that follow and say hey or something like that. Say like, hey, I heard you on the Pro Wrestling Enforcer podcast. I'll retweet that shit.
Awesome. Well, Crash, I appreciate you being on Pro Wrestling Enforcer today. Best of luck to you, man. And thanks for your support, and we definitely support you. And I'll see you out there for Black Label Pro on Sunday.
Awesome, man. Once again, thank you for having me. I always love getting to do stuff like this, so people can kind of get like a little bit more of a insight of who I am, not just as a wrestler, but as a person. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Anytime. Take care, Craig.